Hey, I'm Aaron, and I'm a Norse pagan, and also a hipster. But I've currently come here to this sacred grove. So this here is my sacred grove. This is where I come here to just simply relax, and just to simply be one with the Landvertir spirit of this place. Now, I've come here many times, and as you can tell, the beauty of the scenery, of the beauty of Boulder and the warmth of Freyr. And just a moment ago, I just saw a stag, a great stag, whose antlers were more huger than any stag that I've ever seen. And in that moment in time, this stag with a large neck, and you could tell that it was the strongest of all the stags. And this stag looked at me, and I looked at that stag, and I bowed before this stag. And the stag bowed to me. And that's when I realized that Freyr, that was Freyr, the god of nature, the god of this earth. So as I hike here, I feel more connected every day. And, I have some favorite places of this. So you have this beauty of this scenery right here. What I'd say is that when I come to this place, I'm quiet most of the time. And I tell you the reason why I'm quiet. It quiets me, and this is my place of serenity and peace. And I like that aspect of things. I like the aspect that as a Norse pagan, you don't always have to be loud. And this is the place of quietness. So, yeah. I enjoy that aspect quite a bit, personally. But I love coming to this log right here. And just sitting down and just enjoying nature just for some time. But it started to make me reflect on this spiritual path that I've come to, There's a few things I've done differently this time. There was a time where I was like a cringe pagan, as you might say. I went in for the Viking hairstyle and this big Viking beard, and I got to the point where I was not growing spiritually, and I started to realize I wanted to grow spiritually. So I told Tyler from Weirdcore to create me like the rune totem pendant, which had Isa, Ingaz and Ansus. Isa, yes indeed, Isa represents patience, but it also represents a delay. In the time of the Viking Age, the idea of the ice was the sense of delay, and Isa being ice, being a delay of something. So I started to realize that delay is like, say if you've ordered something online, or say if you're waiting for something to come, or say if you're waiting for a promotion, or say if you're waiting to be recognized by someone, there is always that delay. And in that delay, your heart sinks into your stomach, and that feeling of either regret or not knowing what's going to happen, a sense of fear. But when your heart sinks into your stomach, you start to grow spiritually. So when I shaved off all of my beard, and funny enough, it's grown back now in the space of a month, in the space where I wasn't uploading so many videos, is because I was growing spiritually from within. So I shaved off my beard. I ended up looking like a woman because I had long hair. And what happened is that my heart sunk into my stomach, and everyone was like, "Where's your beard gone? Where's your beard gone?" And every time they said that to me, I was growing spiritually, becoming vulnerable, but in that vulnerability, getting stronger. And in the end, I cut my hair. See, look at that. No ponytail anymore. No longer do I look like a Viking. I just look like a real hipster now, who is also a Norse pagan. Reason for the name. And I put my hat back on because, to be honest, I love this hat. But you know what? When I cut off my beard and when I cut off my hair, there was a moment where my heart sunk into my stomach. And there was a moment in that time of fear and worry and anxiety and depression. But then I started to realize, what is depression? Well, depression represents deep rest. When you're depressed, it's all about a deep rest from within yourself. The mask that you once wore before has slipped and you've become your genuine self. And in that moment when you've become your more genuine self, you become yourself. So I think that's one thing that you should always to take into consideration. If you are not growing spiritually, if you feel lost, try a change, a new hairstyle, a new pair of glasses, or a new beard, or even just a new way of doing things. You know, I've started taking up yoga, and I noticed that really helped. Doing yoga, I thought it was a load of, how can that ever be something that can happen? However, I started to realize, no, yoga, even though it is stretches and breathing, in that stretches and breathing, you learn a great deal of how to deal with certain situations. So say if someone is shouting at you, you going quiet means that you have more power in that situation. And I started to realize that and go, wow, you know what I mean? When someone's shouting at you, you don't have to shout back. You just have to stay calm, stay collective, stay in control. And that's it. And I thought, wow, I like that. I like that aspect of things. So as I've come out to this forest, and I noticed this, when it's been a month, or say if it's been a week or something like this, and I haven't gone to the forest, I really do feel like, I feel connected, but I don't feel as connected as I was if I came out here. And now I'm out here, I feel as if, as the sun hits my face and provides me with vitamin D and giving me strength in my bones, I've gone quiet after doing that ritual with Odin just a moment ago, where I was loud, and now I'm out here with the Lambertis spirit. I just had a cigarette and just sat there and contemplated and reflect on the path that has happened. And I feel more genuinely myself. And I think that's a good thing. When you genuinely become yourself, you're no longer trying to build up this mask. And I think that's very important. Instead of honouring the time of the sword, we should really be honouring the time of the plough. And what this means is that when people first get into Norse paganism, they first get into the Vikings TV show, or they get into Vikings with the hairstyle and the beard and all the jewellery and an axe and all this. But when you really read, when you really read the books, trust me, when I read this book, The Rituals from the North by Jacob Todson and Logan Osborne, and just a Fellowship of Northern Traditions, it made me go, you know what, this is more than just a religion about Vikings. This is a religion about the people of the farmers before, because you've got to realise the Viking period was the end of Norse paganism as they knew it. And we're now in the newborn Renaissance period of where Norse paganism is coming from that time and coming back. So I wouldn't be surprised if people are dressing up like Vikings and all this, because I've done that. But that's how we first get into it. And then when you really do mature into this faith, I noticed that you get out of that kind of Viking period and you start becoming more genuinely yourself. So yeah, I've read this book a few times, and personally I love the books that Jacob Todson comes out with, and it's the reason why I read these books. It has all sorts of things. It has pictures, it has many pictures, many different pictures. Personally, I like this on Ritual by Mary Grace, where she's drumming this. It reminds me of when I'm drumming my drum, you know what I mean? It's interesting, you know what I mean? And this is the thing, Mary Grace on Ritual, she says, the rituals that will be expected upon in this book are of a spiritual nature, as opposed to the mundane rituals such as making the bed or performing ritual is a sacred act to honour the gods, ancestors, the folk, or the spirits. Anyone can create and perform ritual ceremonies alone or in a group. Group ritual differs greatly from personal ritual in that it brings others who have varying experience, but both share the purpose of honouring the subject of reference. Group ritual involves multiple people with differing roles. The simplest of these roles are the participants and ritual leaders. Oftentimes, there are space, play instruments, those who helped create and manage the sacred space, play instruments to offer invocations as its simplest form. Ritual is a team of effort, honor, and subject reference. Ritual ceremony has been something humans have partaken in since before humans were humans. So, you know what I mean? Like, this book really goes and it deep dives into what rituals is and what a ritual is. And, you know, it goes into great aspects of things. It's really hard to put it into words, but in other words, it really goes into great detail of how they do rituals. You know, you've got a picture here of how they do rituals right there. And it does break it down for you quite simply of, you know, what they do. This is one of my favorite ones of invoking the thunderer. You have this guy here holding a hammer. I really like this aspect. This is Keenan holding his Mjolnir. Actually, when it started thundering, I actually started to say this actual invocation. When it started lightning and thundering that at 2 o'clock in the morning, I was like, Thor, wielder of the mighty Mjolnir, the one who fished the mighty Midgard serpent from the depths and lived to tell about it, the god who strikes fear into the hearts of the Jotun, the one who drank from the cup of Utgarder and drained the seas, the one who fought the old age and was taken to the knee, the one who at Ragnarok will slay the mighty Jotungander, and in the last battle, Hail Thor, the protector of Midgard, hail! I loved saying that when that was thundering, and all of a sudden all of my neighbours could hear was me going, Hail Thor! Hail Thor! And then smashes of lightning came down. Yeah, and it was just like, it motivated me so much to go out there when it was thundering. And I did give him a bourbon, which all of a sudden it stopped. All the thundering stopped. And it has been thundering for a while now, and I think what Thor wants now, like, I think Thor has really kind of, when it came to the time of autumn, because just before it started thundering, it was really, really hot at night, and then all of a sudden it thundered, and all instantly everything became cold. And that's when I started to realise that that was the starting of autumn. This was the starting of this time of autumn time, where the leaves fall off the trees and spice lattes are now my new favourite thing. But yeah, honestly, I've learnt a lot of good things from this book alone, and I look forward to when Jacob Todson's new book comes out, so I will be reading that and trying to enjoy the best of it as I can. But yeah, if there's anything I'm trying to do right now, is just reflect on my own journey, and in the reflection of my own journey, I can't thank enough for this book. It has given me enough insight into my own ritual practices, and I'm still learning, you know what I mean? I'm still very new, I'm still very fresh to this path. You know what I mean? I might have been a Norse pagan for about 3 years, but I'm still always learning, I'm still always gathering knowledge. And you know, I'm still always taking my time, and this is what you should do. The thing is, we all come into this path with all of this heat, with all of this proper high vibration and full of passion and very hot and heavy. And then we start to realize that no, we should just take our time. We should do rituals when we really need to do them. We should give offerings to the gods when we really need to do them. And if we want to impress the gods, then the gods are attributes too. If you want to impress Thor, lift the bed up and help a patient out. That's what I do when I'm at work. I try to really work hard at being the strongest I can be in order to help people. I use my strength as a discipline, as a sense that when I get frustrated, I get stronger. When I get angry, I get stronger. So then I can push the beds more better. And that's my way of dealing with it in a therapeutic yoga / Tai Chi kind of way. But if there's a time where someone's coming up to me to ask for advice, I try to tell them the best possible answer that I could give them. So say if they ask for directions, so that in my opinion, that's an opportunity from Odin to honor Odin for communication and understanding. If it's Thor, it's about being strong. If it's about someone who is in need, then that's about being kind, and that's for Frigga. So the gods are attributes, just as much as discipline. You know, if you have to discipline yourself with your health, taking medication, or drinking certain amounts of tea, or doing yoga, or washing your face, or doing things that are good for your health, that discipline can be linked to Tyr. So, you know what I mean? Like, the gods are attributes, and you can impress the gods by your actions, but at the same time, by giving them offerings and asking them to enable you to be better than you was before, or even to guide you and to guide your heart and your mind towards that aspect of things, it can really help. At the end of the day, the gods have given us enough strength, so we don't need to say to the gods, oh, please give me this strength. The gods have given us enough strength as it is. So what you do is that you turn around and say, can you help amplify these strengths? Or give me some guidance in this. And then soon enough, you go ahead and you do it, and then you find out that it's happened and it's worked. And it made me realize these aspects of things. So, yeah, again, to any new Norse pagans out there, just realize there are other Norse pagans that I personally have looked up to. And there are people in my life that have come into my life, I've learned something from them, and they've moved on. And that's about spiritual growth, and that's fine, you know what I mean? If there's something I would like to really close this video up with, is the reason I made this video is to just reflect. If you want to do anything very pagan, come out into a place like this, surrounded by nature, surrounded by trees, surrounded by beauty, surrounded by the gods, surrounded by the Lanvatir spirits of this place. Then all I would suggest is when you come into a place like this, have a cigarette or have a cup of tea or have a cup of coffee and just reflect. Reflect on what you have done so far and what you are going to do, and then go, what have I learned? What am I grateful for? And this is what I've learned in this path, is that gratitude is one of the things I've learned, like reflecting on your own spiritual path and your own spiritual development, but also to be grateful for all the experiences that you have. And even if it doesn't even go your own way, the idea that things don't go your own way is sometimes a hidden truth just for you. So if you've liked this video, and if anything that I have said in this video has given you guidance in any way, then please feel free to like and subscribe and share this video if you can. I'm just an average guy, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to get through this life as best as I can and trying to be a provider to my son and my wife. And you know, if there's something I'm always very grateful for, I'm just grateful for people. I'm grateful for my wife, first of all, and I'm grateful for my son. And I'm also grateful for all the gods and spirits of this land and all the other Norse pagans that I have met along this way. And you know who you are, so thank you. So, until the next time we meet, until the gods grant us a new time together, until the hall, Scar.